All right, here's my troublesome power supply board. And what I did was I just unscrewed it so that I could pull it out and verify all the components. And I have done that, making sure all of the electrolytics here are in the correct orientation with a plus on the opposite side of the negatives, which you can see on each one of the full-size capacitors. We got a non-polar capacitor. I believe I have it in the right uh, location. All of the transistors and voltage regulators. I have, or voltage regulator ICs, I guess. I have verified all the numbering is correct with my my checklist here, and all of the resistors, I put them in. I measured each resistor as they went in and made sure I had the correct ones, and did all of the checklists. You can see all the check marks of all the stuff that that I had installed. So there we go. As far as connections, so I made sure also that I had the right transistor package, with the one with the heatsink and the one without. Each of the diodes is oriented correctly, and I have the smaller diodes all oriented correctly. If you can see there, you can see the oops. You can see all the color coding. I'm pretty sure I got the resistors in there right, but you never know. And as far as connections are concerned, I had the transformer hooked into X1, X2. So the two center tap, obviously, according to the check sheet here, bottom CT eyelet, which I've plugged in there. And those two eyelets are plugged into the outside wires on the transformer coil. So I get, I think, 47 volts between X1 and the center tap, and X2 in the center tap, and 94, I think, across the two eyelets. And then from there, when I put my multimeter onto 38 volts to the adjacent ground, I'll get my hand in the way. I'll do it this way. So 38 volts to the adjacent ground with a negative, I get literally millivolts. So nothing coming through there. Same with the PT or P17.5 to the ground. Same thing, mirror millivolts. And connection wise, I've got the see 12 pin 12 from each of the front and back board that go into 38 volts. And then I've got the long grounding wires from pin 3 going to the ground on by P17 P5, and then the ground by 38 volts is going to the short grounds, I believe, as per the instructions. And so I think I've got everything wired correctly back here, which you can see if I pop this up like this. And I did take a hard look at all of the solder connections. I even used my little trusty dental pick here to just make sure that I had Q-tip. I cleaned it with alcohol with Q-tips, so you got a little bit of residue from the Q-tips here, which I've mostly cleaned off, but not all completely. But where all of the transistors are and where they were really tight, again, I made sure I had good gaps between them. Yeah, I think I've done a fairly good job of soldering this board. So not sure what I'm missing here. I don't know if let's see, it's the right Rev B board, PAT-4, and I installed the blue power LED light And so when I do turn it on, right now it's off, obviously. I'm putting my fingers in it, so I've got the power off. But when I turn that on, I do get the nice blue light. And then, of course, everything goes to the board here, and then it kind of dies. So no arcing, nothing smoldering, just a lot of nothing. Anyway, hopefully this gives you an idea of, maybe you can pick something up that I blew it on or whatever. I don't know. So there you go. Thanks for watching.